The topic of this video is MyMathLab Problem 3.3.19. Graph the linear function by finding x and y intercepts, then write the equation using function notation. Okay, let's start with the intercepts. An x-intercept has a y-coordinate of 0. So we replace y with 0 in the equation and solve for x. This gives us 4x minus 6 times 0 equals negative 12. 6 times 0 is 0, and 4x minus 0 is 4x. So we get 4x equals negative 12. Now, divide both sides by 4, and we get the result x equals negative 3. This gives us our first point to plot on our graph. The x-intercept is negative 3. Notice that this is the ordered pair negative 3, 0, because x is negative 3 and y is 0. Next, the y-intercept. A y-intercept has an x-coordinate of 0. So we replace x with 0 in the equation and solve for y. 4 times 0 minus 6y equals negative 12. 4 times 0 is 0, and 0 minus 6y is negative 6y. Now divide both sides by negative 6, and we get the result y equals 2. So now we can plot our y-intercept on our graph. Notice that this point has coordinates 0, 2, because x is 0 and y is 2. Now, this is a line, a linear function. Notice that the word line appears in the word linear. Lines, line segments, and rays are always drawn with a straight edge. So, get out your straight edge and draw a straight line through both of those points. This is the graph of our linear function, 4x minus 6y equals negative 12. Alright, now we're on to the next part of this problem. Write the equation using function notation. Function notation simply means solve the equation for y, and then replace the y with f of x. Let's begin. 4x minus 6y equals negative 12. Let's pick up this term and move it to the other side where it becomes its opposite. Negative 6y equals negative 4x minus 12. Notice that all terms in the equation are negative. So if I multiply both sides by negative 1, all the negatives become positive. Negative 6y, negative 4x minus 12, Alright, so now my new equation is 6y equals 4x plus 12. Next, divide everything by 6. Left side, right side. This is going to give me y equals 4x over 6 plus 12 over 6. And we can simplify this in a few ways. First, the fractions. 4/6 becomes 2/3. 12 over 6 becomes the number 2. And the other way that we can simplify this is to remember a property of fractions, that a factor in the numerator of a fraction can be written alongside that fraction. As a final gesture, we replace y with f of x, and we get f of x equals 2/3 x plus 2. Notice that this is in the y equals mx plus b format, which gives us an ability to check our equation against the graph that we created. The y-intercept is 2, which we see here on our graph. The slope is 2/3. That means we rise 2 and run 3. Well, if we start at this point and we go up 2, and right 3, we end up at the other point on our line. This gives us validation that we have solved this problem correctly. This is our final answer, for writing our equation using function notation.